This TikTok shop has generated over $3 million in the last 30 days. In today's video, we're doing a breakdown on Nello, a TikTok shop that has recently been making a lot more noise in the space. Right now, they currently have the #2 top selling product on TikTok shop right now. It's this calming drink that's mixed with ashwagandha and other products that has many health benefits like helping with your cortisol levels and more. Now, I went through and put together a full deep dive going over their entire strategy, and I'm going to cover it all here. But before I do, usually from my experience of launching my own TikTok shop and also working with other e-commerce businesses and helping them with their TikTok shop, there are usually really these main components involved when it comes to launching a TikTok shop from scratch. Now, Nello, they've actually been around for a little bit, so they're not new to TikTok shop, but they have recently started to pick up a lot more traction and their numbers speak for itself. So before diving in, just a quick run through their numbers. Here you can see that in the last 30 days, Nello has done $3.4 million in sales. And what's even more interesting is that if you look at the breakdown, majority of their sales has actually come from one main product, which is again, this calming drink mix. And what's even more interesting is that a good portion of their sales have also come from a bundle, which includes the top selling flavors of their main flagship product. And so obviously, when you're doing this kind of volume, there's things that we can all kind of pick up and learn from people like Nello and like brands like Nello and everything that they're doing. And so with that said, let's jump into the overview because I have a lot of really good insights that I want to cover. So first thing is first, let's go over their TikTok shop. So if you look at their TikTok shop listing, I'm not going to go over like the technicals of like setting up a TikTok shop. There's a lot of great tutorials and trainings out there that already cover that. I'm going to cover really my main takeaways on like what they were doing across their TikTok shop. So if we hop in and we look at their TikTok shop listing, here we are looking at their listing on desktop. If you look at it on mobile, it may look a little bit different, but it looks fairly similar. One of the first things that stands out to me is their product images, right? If you go across and you look at their images, they have all super clean images, right? And all of their images serve a purpose. If you look at their first image, it shows up their products. It also highlights the fact that these are packs that you take on to go. If you look at their next image, immediately highlights the supplement facts and the ingredients in their products. It highlights the fact that they're GMP certified, no artificial sweeteners, they're third-party tested and more. As you keep going on, you'll notice that they have images that highlight what people are saying, right? Showing off reviews and testimonials. And they have 2 images just for that. Next, they kind of go into more specifics about their ingredients, right? You can see that it has ashwagandha, magnesium glycinate, vitamin D3, L-theanine, and more. And then here it has just some of the ownership benefits of the product that quickly allow you to see, the benefits of actually purchasing their product. And here it shows you like when to take Super Calm, right? And then here it kind of shows you also like before and after in terms of like what happens before you take it and then what happens after, right? And some of the effects. And then here they have just like a lifestyle photo. And then, for their images, that's pretty much everything. In my opinion, all those images are strategically placed there. There's no accident or no mistakes with having these images in this specific order, right? And so obviously, you'll notice a trend with the top TikTok shop listings is that they all have optimized images that they're using on their TikTok shop listing. Now, moving on to their title, you're going to notice that they have a very well put together title as well. So it starts off first with the name of their brand and their product, Nello Super Calm. Then it goes over what it is, a calming drink mix with KSM, ashwagandha, vitamin D3. They go into the ingredients. Then they go over what the product helps with. Supports cortisol balance, mood and sleep, helps manage occasional stress. And then they go over the fact that these are travel packets that you can take on the go. As you keep going down, you'll notice that they have different options. They have different flavors here that you can choose from. The shipping is obviously free currently. Let's go back. As you keep scrolling, you'll then see their customer reviews. You can see that they currently have over 20,000 reviews, which is just crazy. Then as you keep going down, you can learn more about their product. You can see they have a description here. And for the most part, really, in my opinion, when it comes to your TikTok shop listing, the main things that at least I see that the top TikTok shops have in common when it comes to their product listings is that they all have high quality images that all serve a purpose. They typically will have some kind of social proof or credibility or authority images included in their product listing. They will sometimes have before and after images. This is specifically with what Shop Nello has, but I do commonly see these same things being done by other top performing TikTok shops. Next, you'll always notice that they have optimized product descriptions. And then last but not least, they almost always have relevant promotions. So like right now, if you go on TikTok on mobile, you'll notice that right now they're currently having their spring sale, which is very current to right now because we are in spring and they have the promotion going on. Promotions on TikTok is everything. When people are shopping on there, they're looking for a good deal, good price. And so you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of that. And you'll always see this being done by the top performing TikTok shops. And so when it comes to the actual listing, those are some of the main things that I took away from them that I commonly see being done. I think that when it comes to TikTok shop, it's like your website, right? You need to make sure that you have a well put together listing overall, not just for your main product, but for all your products. You'll notice that if you also look across Nello's other products, they're also very well put together listings, right? If you go through their bundles, you go through their packs, they all have a lot of similarities in terms of like how they're put together. So those are some of the main key takeaways that I took away from reviewing their TikTok shop and their individual product listings. Now, moving on to their products, again, one of the main things that stood out to me is how basically out of this 3.4 million, a significant portion of it came from just one product, right? Their main flagship product. To be specific, 1.8 million, which is literally almost half of their overall revenue, literally came from one individual product, and the rest came from bundles, right? Other packs and other products that they have. But really, a significant portion of the revenue really came from their top two TikTok shop listings, which is again their main flagship product, and their second, a bundle, which is genius because typically bundling automatically helps with increasing the average order value. If we literally look at the average unit price for somebody buying one is $32. And if you look at for their best-selling flavors, their 2-pack, it's instantly higher, right? It's $52. And so obviously creating bundles, creating packs, this automatically works with increasing that average order value. And it can be a pretty big contributor to overall revenue. As you can see, their 2-packs with their best sellers generated $700,000 in the last 30 days, which is massive. Now, moving on, really what drove the recent craziness with Nello is the overall 3-month challenge that they kicked off with these insane rewards for their affiliates. So almost always different TikTok shops have been launching many of these different challenges. Usually they all do it for 1 month. Now, in my opinion, the problem with 1 month is that with the TikTok algorithm, sometimes it takes a video a couple days, sometimes a week, sometimes even 2 weeks before it even starts going viral. So not all affiliates really even get enough time to like have their videos created and posted, and enough time for the algorithm to really even pick those videos up and then for them to like start going viral. And so with past challenges, our affiliates were not really able to get a lot of the rewards that were offered by these different TikTok shops because, again, 1 month was never a long enough time period. So they have recently launched a 90-day challenge starting from March 12th all the way up until June 12th. And they just have insane rewards. So right now, their highest reward is if you make $950,000 in sales, you can get a Lamborghini Huracan or a G-Wagon, or you can choose $175,000 in cash. Second, if you generate $500,000 in sales, you can get a Ford Raptor, or you can get a Porsche Cayenne, or you can get $75,000 in cash. And then you can see the rest of the rewards, right? If you generate $150,000, they're offering a Polaris Slingshot or a mini Kelly Birkin, or $20,000 in cash. And then you have the prizes for $50,000 in sales, $10,000 in sales, and $3,000 in sales. And so here's also a quick breakdown of, all the details and specifics about all the rewards and prizes. Also, you can see that they are offering very aggressive commissions, right? They're offering 30% commissions, which is crazy high, right? That's going a lot more aggressive than other TikTok shops. So that's automatically going to bring people in. And having these kind of prizes and this kind of challenge that offers a lot more flexibilities for creators and affiliates is also going to bring a lot more affiliates in. So this has definitely been a big reason as to why, more recently they have started to pick up more volume. Like if you look at the last 90 days, really their volume was consistent, but it was low. But basically ever since they kicked off the challenge on the 12th, there's been an increase in their overall sales, right? Because they've gotten much more affiliates involved. And so clearly this works, right? These challenges are still happening and they're still driving a good portion of volume for a lot of these different TikTok shops. Now, some of the main key takeaways that I got from these incentives is that the fact that, again, they're going out and about their way. They're offering these additional incentives on top of the 30% commissions that they're already offering, which is, again, a big way to attract and also retain affiliates. They are increasing the time periods that these challenges are running for, making it more fair and giving affiliates a much higher chance of actually winning out these different prizes that they're offering. And in my opinion, they really also understand the current TikTok shop landscape. Majority of the affiliates on TikTok are younger millennials that will definitely be incentivized by these different rewards, which is why rewards work, right? There's just no doubt about it. And so obviously we've seen this done in the past, but it's still being done now and it's clearly working. And so, yeah, those are the main kind of key takeaways that I got from reviewing Nello's strategy to onboard affiliates. Really one of the main bottlenecks that most TikTok shops have is that, they have to constantly find a new way to attract affiliates and then also retain them. However, having these kinds of incentives is a great way to do both, right? To attract new affiliates and to retain them. In my opinion, from what I'm seeing currently working well, it's either having these incentives that you run and you offer like through these challenges, or coming out outright and offering different retainers for different affiliates that you want to continue to work with. I see that basically these are the main two options that are currently working right now to one, attract affiliates at scale, and then also retain affiliates, because you don't want to constantly be in a game of having to chase new affiliates every single month. That gets tiring, it's exhausting, it's very difficult. And so you want to find a fair way to one, attract affiliates, but two, retain them, because that's how you're going to be able to maintain consistency with your volume and your sales. So those are the main things I wanted to cover when it comes to the insights regarding the incentives that Nello is offering. Now, moving on to their affiliate sourcing. So from what I have read, Nello is working with different agencies to find different affiliates. They are leveraging different affiliate networks, and then they're also doing their own internal outreach. For them, in my opinion, sourcing creators was fairly easy since they are running this 3-month challenge with these massive rewards, right? Like automatically, affiliates are going to be much more inclined to work with Nello compared to any other TikTok shop. Next is, through their affiliate sourcing, they basically reached out and were able to have over 5,300 different creators post videos for them. If you actually go into Callow data, which is a great TikTok shop tool, you can see that overall across the board in the last 30 days, here you can see that they have had over 5,300 different creators post videos about them, right? Their stats are very aggressive when it comes to their affiliates and also their content creation, which we'll cover in a minute. Now, another interesting fact that I picked up from Nello is that if you look through their current creators, right, they are currently working with majority micro creators, right? If you go and you look at their top performing creator that has generated the most revenue for them in the last 30 days, you can just click here. You'll notice that this creator has 16,000 followers, right? As you keep scrolling down, you'll notice the same thing. If you go to, this is just a random creator I'm going to click on, right? Let's check to see how many followers they have. This creator has 70,000 followers. I've already looked through their list. Majority of their affiliates and their creators that they're working with on average are anywhere as like a couple thousand followers to, at most, I saw a couple that have like a couple 100,000 followers, but majority of their affiliates are micro affiliates that have under 20,000 followers, right? And so in my opinion, working with micro creators still works extremely well. This is something that I'm going to be looking to continue to do for my own TikTok shop, but also for all the other clients that we work with as well, because clearly there's no downside to working with micro creators. You can get better rates. You can probably work with them longer. You can actually build a much deeper relationship compared to trying to work with like major and large affiliates and creators. So overall, those are the main kind of key takeaways that I took away from affiliate sourcing. Now, when it comes to affiliate onboarding and management, from what I am seeing, Nello has a full Discord community that they basically use to onboard and manage all of their affiliates. Inside of their community, there are a lot of great things that they're doing. But basically what they have done is they have created this community, which is like a support group for all of their affiliates. They're basically treating all of their affiliates as if they're partners, which is something that I've mentioned in the past before. This is something that I do myself. And basically in their Discord community, they do things like constantly have announcements sharing just updates overall on how things are going. If they're having any sales, they'll do a quick announcement here where everybody can quickly see what's going on. They go over different violations. If they see that different affiliates are having different issues with different products being or videos getting receiving these violations, they will update and say, hey, you should probably stay away from saying this in your video so you can avoid any violations. And this is super helpful because if an affiliate gets a certain amount of violations, it can then restrict their account It can basically restrict how often they get their payouts and their commissions and more. And so they're super helpful with providing these kind of insights. Also, they have a dedicated channel where you can just post your videos and then get feedback from other affiliate members that are in the community on how you can improve your video. They also have a chat where when you get your first sale, you can post it in here and you get encouragement from other people from the community. And really, overall, my main takeaway is that this community overall is super helpful for all affiliates because it's really a go-to place where somebody can come on and very quickly learn about Nello as a whole. They can get insights on current trends because people share what's working, what's not, so they can very quickly get up to speed on, what they should start off with from day one. They can see examples of like, what videos are doing well, which ones are not. And so really what this does is day one, when somebody comes into the community and starts to work with Nello, before they even get their products, they can gather all these insights and save a lot of time, energy, and efforts on creating content that probably doesn't have the best chance of actually doing well. And instead, they can just cut right to the chase and start off with what's already working, right? And so I'm a big fan of this. This is something that, again, I do internally as well as for all the clients that I work with. And I have seen this to work time and time again. And so I thought that this was obviously genius. I love the approach that they're taking here and big fan of this strategy overall. Now, moving on to the content creation. So right now, typically once you onboard an affiliate, they get onboarded, they learn about the brand, they learn about the business, they learn about what's working, what's not. The next step is for them to actually receive their products. Once they receive their products, then they can start creating and posting content. Now, here are some insane stats from their growth from all the affiliates they're working with and some of their content as well. Right now, they're currently working with over 5,300 affiliates. On average, which you can actually confirm on Calidata, there is 748 new videos being posted daily by affiliates, right? If you come on here, you can see that on average, actually, this has not been updated. There's now 778 new videos being posted by affiliates each and every single day, which is just absolutely crazy. Right now, a lot of their top videos, you'll notice that they focus on trending wellness concerns on TikTok, like lowering your cortisol levels, stress relief, getting help with better sleep, and more. In my opinion, there was already a lot of great insights on other videos that have already performed well on TikTok, right? There's other products that promote basically similar benefits already on TikTok. And so ideally, a lot of these affiliates, they can come in and start looking at what's worked in the past, and then they can recreate content around that. Now, some of the main key takeaways that I kind of took away from their videos is the fact that they are focusing, well, the videos are doing the best, are tackling things that previously were not really tackled as much on TikTok. Like before, the whole having issues with your cortisol levels, that was not really something that was spoken about a lot on TikTok. But very recently, it has picked up. And now they're, an angle that a lot of affiliates are going after is getting help with your cortisol and all the different benefits that come with having a lower cortisol level. And that's like their main angle that they're basically reusing across many different affiliates, as you can see, right? If you look at the second video here, it's about cortisol, the third one, the fourth, like there's all these videos that are about cortisol levels. And so really what they have found is like one big problem that they have been able to highlight, because first off, there was this great video that it looks like this was a podcast by somebody that's credible in the space, and they actually covered some pretty good points. I'll quickly play the video.
Are you not hungry for breakfast in the morning? That's high cortisol. Do you wake up at 3 a.m. having to pee? That's high cortisol. Experiencing strange shoulder pain? That's also a sign of high cortisol. Is your hair thinning unexpectedly like mine was? That's high cortisol too. Hearing an annoying ringing in your ears? That's high cortisol. Dealing with that stubborn pooch around your midsection? It's the cortisol effect. You've probably heard of cortisol before, but stay with me. This is important. Elevated cortisol levels are directly linked to stress, especially for people juggling demanding jobs or carrying heavy mental loads. If you have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep at night, waking up refreshed and energized for the day can feel impossible, and it's not your fault. Here's my recommendation. Start taking Nello Super Calm. It has ashwagandha, L.
So obviously this video pretty much drove some very important points home in terms of cortisol levels leading to hair thinning, a stubborn pooch in your stomach area, which nobody wants that, being stressed. And so obviously highlighting these pain points and struggles that people most likely have, and then addressing Nello as a solution is genius, right? And so obviously a lot of their content is working because they're focusing on positioning Nello as like the go-to for these main kind of problems. And so, obviously great for them that they have kind of narrowed down this focus on helping or having their product positioned to help people with cortisol. Also, what's super unique is the fact that they are also different affiliates out there that are leveraging AI for their content. So for example, I came across this video here.
They placed her dead body in the morgue freezer, but she regained consciousness. Confused and terrified, she struggled inside, trying to escape. She pushed against the walls, desperate for help, but no.
So this video starts off basically using AI, and then it transitions into the rest of the video. So they're using AI to hook somebody in, and then after that, they're just basically it's like a UGC style video talking about the benefits of the product. Here's another example, right, of another video with AI.
If you fall off of a cruise ship, you could hit at 40 miles per hour, quickly submerging you deep into the water. But if you manage to make it back.
So obviously you have affiliates that are doing super well, also using AI to hook people in, show like these demonstrations, and then kind of dive into how this product helps to avoid those kind of problems. Also genius. So really, Nello across the board, I love what they're doing. They're leveraging a high volume of affiliates. They're getting a high volume of content posted every single day. Their affiliates are posting different styles of content, UGC content, podcast content, AI content, and more. And so, really with their content, they're putting on a complete masterclass, in my opinion, with everything they're doing. And so those are the main kind of key takeaways that I kind of got from their content creation is the wide variety and diversity across all the content that's being put out from all their affiliates. And again, this is not by mistake. Inside of their community, their affiliates are always sharing things that are working, right? Here's wins, here's this affiliate, and going over how they woke up today and they're already have sold over $700 in sales. And then obviously they kind of go over also like the videos that are resulting in helping with these sales. So again, this is not happening on accident. Like strategically, affiliates are seeing what's working and they're all coming up with unique ways to leverage insights on what's working to create their own videos and obviously also generate their own sales. Now, moving on to scaling. So obviously, once you have a content infrastructure built out like this, where you have a sustainable way to attract new affiliates and then onboard new affiliates and then get them to start posting content, and then you start getting content that starts to pick up traction and go viral and drive sales, the next immediate way that every TikTok shop grows and scales is by scaling across organic and then scaling with paid ads. So very quickly, when it comes to scaling across organic, basically the go-to strategy for this is to then, once you have a video or angle that works well, you then immediately want the rest of your affiliates to recreate videos following that angle or that video or content style. And you notice that again, if we look through the videos here that are doing the best, notice that now a lot of these videos are addressing cortisol levels and how this is a big issue. Notice how this one person created this video starting off with an AI hook, an intro for the video, and then following not so long after, another person created another video with using AI in the beginning of the video as their intro. And so again, that's the first initial way that you want to scale. Next is you want to take your top performing pieces of content and you want to redistribute it across their other channels. Right now, I'm not seeing them doing this just yet, but I'm assuming they probably will because there's not really any downside to doing this. Next, what I'm seeing also working really well is whenever you have affiliates driving consistent sales and consistently putting out good content, the next thing you want to do to help with retention is you want to ideally put them on a retainer and pay them out for guaranteed content, right? So now it may be a little bit different for Nello because they have these incentives running right now. But from my experience and what I do internally, and as well as for all the clients that I work with, is we do typically look to bring on any affiliates that are consistently performing well with their content and bring them on as full-time content creators on retainers so that we can get guaranteed content every single month, right? Again, the volume to scale on TikTok is you need a volume of quality affiliates, volume of content, and then you start to scale after that. But to maintain the affiliates, to maintain the content, you need to find incentives that align for both the brand and for the affiliates. And so this is a great way to do it. Second, one of the things that we recently started doing is for our top affiliates that are consistently posting content, consistently driving sales, and consistently getting good performance, we are starting to increase the commissions for our top affiliates. And so higher incentives will almost always equal out to more content, because if you incentivize affiliates greater, if they're performing, they're going to be more inclined to want to create more content, work with you longer, et cetera. So this is how we go about scaling across organic. Now, when it comes to scaling with paid ads, this is really how TikTok shops are achieving escape velocity and are getting these kind of results. So if you go through and you look at any of these videos here, any video that says ad on the top left corner is a video that's being pushed with paid ads, right? So you can see that out of their top 10 videos, really majority of them have the ad logo on it or the ad icon, and it's being pushed as an ad. And so, of course, this is how you're able to get these kind of results. Like there's no TikTok shop that's driving these kind of numbers on a monthly basis only on the back of organic. Like, can you get good results with organic? For sure. But can you get these kind of numbers with only organic? Very difficult. And so ideally, the next way to unlock scale is to then run Spark ads with your best performing affiliate videos, right? You almost always want to do that. That's clearly what's being done by Nello. Next, you want to try out separate TikTok and then TikTok shop ads. These will be like non-Spark ads, maybe with some of the same affiliate videos you have or with other videos. And really, that's the formula to getting to 3 million a month on TikTok. I'm personally a big fan of taking the top performing videos that are doing well as ads on TikTok and then running those as ads on Meta, on YouTube to really unlock additional volume. From what I'm seeing, Meta is a very big channel for almost every single e-commerce business. So if you're getting ads that are doing well on TikTok, almost consistently, we're seeing a very high correlation with those ads also doing well on Meta and on YouTube as well. And so that's personally what I'm a big fan of. I did check Nello's ads. It doesn't look like they have started to take their top performing ads from TikTok and then running them as ads on Meta or YouTube just yet, but they possibly will, depending on how things go. But yeah, I mean, that's really how they're going about scaling, right? That's how they're getting to over $3 million a month. Now, again, the one thing to keep in mind is like they're doing all of these things to get this level of scale, right? They're optimizing their TikTok shop listing. They have a good product that obviously works. You can't do this with a product that does not work. They are creating bundles for their products to increase their average order values. They have these different challenges that they're running for their affiliates. They're offering them high commissions on top of these challenges to also attract affiliates and retain them. They are sourcing affiliates at scale, right? They are onboarding them efficiently. They're training these affiliates. They're providing them with these insights that help them become much better creators, much better affiliates. They are getting content created at scale every single day. They're then scaling that content across organic. They're scaling across paid ads. And so doing all these things cohesively is really what's required to get these kind of results, from my opinion, and from what I have seen working well for, again, my own TikTok shop, but then also all the other clients that I work with as well. Now, just some final thoughts. Historically, there's been an influx of brands that have come on to TikTok shop. And right now there's an imbalance between how many brands want to sell on TikTok shop and then how many quality affiliates that actually know how to create good content that actually converts there are available to work with all the TikTok shops. And so this makes it so that leading affiliates almost always gravitate towards already popular products, making it very challenging for new brands to gain any traction. This is just the state of the market. That's just how it is. It's just a supply and demand issue. Now, Nello's success underscores the effectiveness of offering substantial incentives alongside high commissions to attract creators, right? Really, this is why they have been able to see this recent spike in their overall sales on TikTok and why they have started to pick up so much traction. Like they literally have their affiliates on TikTok telling other affiliates how they need to be promoting Nello right now, like organically. Like if you go and you read inside of their Discord, if you go and you read on like Twitter, where there's a big community of affiliates, they're literally all saying that they should be all promoting Nello because of how good of a deal it is. So it's like all the top affiliates literally go towards the TikTok shops that are offering the best commissions as well as any type of additional incentives like they're offering, but also TikTok shops that also have good products and are doing all these other things that I just covered. And so from what I've seen, this strategy is replicatable for other businesses as you can tailor these incentives aligned with your profitability margins and your sales objectives. All of these incentives that you're seeing that they're giving out, these are all paid out after they've already had all of their sales generated for these in particular tiers and these set amounts, and that they've already been paid out all the sales for all these prizes. So they're not just giving out these prizes, and having like all these costs up front. Like they're making all these sales first, they're getting paid out, and then they're giving out these rewards, right? So you can think about it as the usual customer acquisition costs that you almost always will have. Now, going back to just overall final thoughts, one of the things that's also important to note is that the overall sales that were generated by Nello during this time period, these are only the sales that were generated during this in particular month, right? The screenshot that I have down here is an outdated screenshot. This is the most recent screenshot. And so what we're looking at is only the sales that have taken place during the last 30 days. And right now, we're only going to be looking at the sales that have taken place while they're running this challenge. But post the challenge, they're still going to have all this content that has been created that will continue to run on TikTok, that will continue to drive sales for them on TikTok, will continue to drive sales for them offline, like on Amazon, on their website. If they're ever, I'm not sure if they're in retail, but if they go into retail, like they're going to still see sales from all the content that has been put out from all these affiliates. So it's not like you only get the benefits from these sales that you get from during this challenge period. You get all of the sales that come after the challenge is over, right? Because these videos will organically still generate sales. As ads, they will still generate sales. But Nello only has to pay out these affiliates during this time period. All the sales generated after this time period, or from organic and from sales, is all profit for them. Two, they now have all of this new content that has been created that they can then cycle through and repurpose for ads on TikTok, Meta, and YouTube, which is massive because majority of businesses are not scaling and growing their businesses with organic content. Majority of e-commerce businesses are growing with paid ads. And the biggest thing that you need to grow with paid ads is content. You need an ongoing flow of net new assets that you can use for new ads on an ongoing basis. And so I wanted to highlight that because it's important to note that really the benefit that Nello is seeing, we're going to see right now, like based on the sales that they generate this month, next month, and the month after. But really, they're going to continue to see the benefits of all the content that's being created during this challenge. And so I wanted to highlight that. Now, to wrap up, Nello's approach demonstrates that this innovative incentive structures combined with strategic affiliate partnerships can really propel brands to remarkable heights within the TikTok Shop landscape. Now that we've gotten a little more clarity on the fact that for now TikTok Shop will be around, if you're running an e-commerce business, you should be exploring TikTok, but in a much more strategic manner, right? As you can see, the TikTok shops that are doing the best, they're not just winging their strategy on TikTok. They're actually having an actual strategy in place for everything and all of these components when it comes to TikTok Shop. And so on that note, if you're an e-commerce business and you're looking to get help with TikTok Shop, down below this video in the description, there's going to be a link where you can actually book in a call with me and my team. On that call, we can get to know more about you and your business. And then from there, we can lay out an action plan going over exactly how we can help you grow on TikTok Shop. That's pretty much it for this video. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, I would appreciate if you dropped a like on the video. If you guys have any questions about anything that I covered in today's video, drop it down below in the description. I'll make sure to get back to you guys. And of course, if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe. With that said, I'll see you guys in the next one.